Hello everyone and welcome to the Pardot series. Today we are at day 8 and we'll be learning about prospect management in Pardot. A quick introduction about myself. My name is Lakhan Meghani. I'm working as a Salesforce developer at Arya Technologies. I am proud Salesforce marketing champion. I am 4x Salesforce certified including Pardot specialist. I'm active member on the Trailblazer Answer community and I'm the community speaker as well. Below are my LinkedIn and Twitter handles. Feel free to connect me over Twitter and LinkedIn. A quick agenda about today's session. We'll be learning about prospect management in Pardot, types of list in Pardot, having static and dynamic list, campaigns in Pardot. Let's start with the prospect management in Pardot. Prospect is a visitor came from the website or landing page having a email address. So an entity having an email address is considered as a prospect. But if visitor is just visiting on your website and looking for the page, then that is termed as visitor only. If that visitor fills any form or interact with any marketing assets and fill the form, then that visitor will be converted into the prospect. There are several types where we can create the prospect into the Pardot. Let's have a look into it one by one. So there are three methods by which we can create the prospect. One is the manual method, second is the CSV upload, and third is using the Pardot automation. So the first one is nothing but we can navigate to the Pardot instance. We can go to the prospects tab and we can create the Pardot prospect. The second one is the CSV upload. It's exact similar to the data upload into our Salesforce org. The third one is via marketing automation. So let's consider a website having couple of landing pages, couple of forms, and we'll be covering the landing pages and form as well in this series. So once the visitor fills the form, then that will be created as a prospect into the Pardot system, followed by sync from Pardot to the Salesforce instance. So let's jump into the org and see each and every method by which we can create the prospect. So we are logged in into the Pardot instance, and the very first method is the manual prospect creation. So we can simply navigate to the Pardot instance and there is a prospect tab and there is an add prospect button and we can simply put the details. And we can provide the campaign profile and we can assign it to my default user and we can simply click on create. So this is how we can create the prospect using manual method. Okay, now next method is the data import method. So we'll go to the Pardot setting here and here you can see the import option. So here we have to create one CSV file which we have to upload into the Pardot. So let's have a look into the CSV which I already have in my system. This is the CSV file having fields first name, last name, email, and company. And I have put these values in the first name, last name, email, and company. So let's go into the Pardot instance and let's upload this file. I will simply click on upload file. And from the upload file, I have to select my CSV file. And once the file is selected, you have to click on this compliance and click on the next button. So here we have two checkbox: create or update prospect using Salesforce lead or contact ID, create or update prospect using email address. So we will select this as a option and we will simply click on next button. So here you can see this is a field mapping exact similar to the Salesforce data loader, which we already have used into the Salesforce. And here you can see first name, last name, email and company, which I have used into the Excel. And there's a override option. So as of now, we will keep this as it is. And we can simply click on next. And as we already discussed in the last session, everything in Pardot is connected with the campaign. So you have to select any default campaign here, or if you want, you can create the new campaign as well. And you can simply click on the next button. Now there is an option import prospects and add to a list. So what we are going to do here is, so we have 5 prospects included into the Excel. So we are going to add those 5 prospects into this list. And we can simply click on next button. Now, as we are going to add those prospects into a list, so either we have to choose the list or we have to create the list. So let's create one list. And here you can see the option ApexR's import list. And we can select the folder. So we can either create the folder or we can use the existing folder. So we can select the data import folder and we can simply click on save list. So once you save the list, here you can see this is the list that you are going to upload, and you can simply click on next. This is the final page and we have to click on confirm and save button. Once we click on confirm, so here you can see this is the list which we have uploaded and it is showing the status as waiting. So once we upload the list and status is complete, then we can see all the 5 records which are created into the Pardot instance. So it often takes a couple of minutes till the time it upload into the Pardot instance. So I have already uploaded the same list with the different emails or different records. And if I open this list, so here you can see these are the 5 records which are already added into the list. Test import 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how the import is happen. And once the import is done, you can see status is completed. And the import which we have done, the status it is showing as waiting. And maybe after a couple of minutes, it will be completed. And we can see all the 5 new records which are uploaded into the Pardot instance. Now let's go into the third method. And third method is via the Pardot automation. So what we will do, we will go to the content and we will open any Pardot form. So as of for now, we are going to use the standard form that we already have into the system. We'll copy this link and let's consider this form is hosted on any of the website and visitor is going to this form and filling this form. So let me fill this form with the dummy details. Now, once this form is filled, the prospect for this record will be automatically created into the Salesforce instance. So here you can see I have refreshed the screen and this is the record with which I have filled the form. You can see the email ID and this record is created into the Salesforce instance. So this is how prospects can be created into the Salesforce instance. Let's jump back to the PPT to cover the next topics. So next is types of list in Pardot. So there are two types of list in Pardot. One is static list, another is the dynamic list. So let's cover the static list first. So static list means the count of member in the static list will always be constant unless and until the record is deleted in Pardot. The simple example of the static list is list import of random data will be stored in the list and further won't be addition of record in it. So the number of records in this list will be always constant unless and until we are deleting the records. So let's consider the same example. In a previous slide, we have created the Excel and we have uploaded the data into the Salesforce Pardot. So while uploading the data, there was an option to add the records into the list, and we have created one list and added those uploaded records into that list. So let's jump back to the Salesforce instance and see whether those records are added into the list or not. And the list in which those records are added will be termed as a static list. So we are in our Salesforce instance and we have to click on the prospects tab, and there is a segmentation of option and there is a segmentation list option. And here you can see the third one, data import list, that we have created and which we uploaded the 5 records via data import. So you can see all 5 records are available in the list and it is showing the count 5. Now, of course, if we delete any of the record from here, so 5 minus 1, the total records will be shown here as the 4 records. So this is known as the static list, as the number of records in this list will be always constant and there won't be addition of any records in this list. So this was all about the static list in Pardot. Let's jump onto the slide and learn about the dynamic list into the Pardot. So next is dynamic list. So in the dynamic list, the members in the list will be automatically added if they follow the list criteria. So additional to static list, in the dynamic list, there is an ability to select a filter or select a criteria, and based on that criteria, prospects will be automatically added into the list if they follow the criteria. Now, let's consider a example dynamic list having company name is equal to epic hours. Now consider in a database you have 10 records having company is equal to epic hours and you are creating a dynamic list. So all those 10 records will be added automatically into the dynamic list. Now let's assume in future you did some data changes into your database and you have changed the company name of one of the record from epic hours to the another company. So that record is no more following the criteria of the dynamic list and it will be automatically removed from the list if company name is changed. So this is how dynamic lists work. So it majorly involves the addition and removal of the records from the list based on if they follow the criteria or not. So let's jump onto the org and have a look into the demo. So we are going again to the prospects tab, and in the prospects tab, there is a segmentation list and we have to click on add list, and we are going to give the name list having company equal to epic SaaS, and we can select the folder here. We can select the existing folder, or if you want, you can create new folder and give the name dynamic list, and you can simply click on save and you can select this folder where we are supposed to store this dynamic list. Now there is an option to select check marks dynamic list, and if you read this, the prospects assigned to this list are controlled dynamically via predefined rules. and that rules we are going to set after this. So we can simply click on set rules. Now this is the screen where we can set up our rules. So I will simply click on add new rule. So what we want here is company name of prospect should be equal to apex hours. Then we are going to add those records into the dynamic list. So company is the prospect default field. So I will go into this section. Similarly, there are other options here we can select based on our requirement to create a dynamic list. So as of for now, we are going to select prospect default field as company is the default field or standard field you can consider. And this is a simple filter where we are saying company is apex hours. Now, similarly, if we have any other criteria as well, we can click on add rule and you can see match all. Match all serves the and purpose. Match any serves the or purpose. So as of for now, we have only one criteria. So we are going to go with the single criteria which says prospect default field company is apex hours. And we are going to simply click on run rules. And it is asking for the confirmation and we can simply click on run rules. Now it will take a couple of moments to refresh this list and show the actual number of records whatever we have into the system. Now let's refresh our list and see how many records we got in a dynamic list. So 11 records we have in a database having company is equal to apex hours. Now to confirm the same, what you can do is you can go to the prospects tab again, and here you can apply filter create it all time and click on go. So here you can see almost we have total 17 prospects, and here you can see the company is equal to apex hours for almost 11 records. So which means the dynamic list is showing the appropriate results. Now for any of the records, if we change the company to apex hours to something else, then it will be automatically removed from this list and it will show the prospect count is equal to 10. So this is how dynamic list work into the Pardot. So let's jump onto the slide again. Now, next topic is create Pardot campaigns. So Pardot campaign is a touch point for prospect similar to source in other system. So whatever we are creating in Pardot, everything, not everything, almost everything is connected to the campaign. So most of the Pardot various marketing elements are associated with the campaign, which includes emails, forms, form handlers, custom redirects, landing pages, website tracking, and even while we create the prospect, it asks us to select the campaign. So everything is associated with the campaign in Pardot. So let's go to the org and see how we can create the campaigns. So we are in the org and you have to click on the Pardot campaign, and there is a simple button add campaign, and we will give the campaign name as live show at apex hours, and we can select the folder here again, and I'm going to create one folder and give the name as campaigns, and we can select this as a folder and we can simply click on create campaign. So this is the campaign and we can add the records in this campaign. So this is how we can create campaigns into the Pardot. Now here you can see there are no records in this campaign. So let's go to the prospects and create one prospect. And here you can see in the campaign, you can see option live show at apex hours, which is nothing but the campaign which we created just now. Let's fill the remaining details, and I'm going to give it as a test campaign record. And we can put any email here, and we can assign any default profile, and we can simply click on create prospect. So right after creating the prospect, so this prospect will be automatically added to this campaign which we created. Here you can see this is the record which we just created, and this is a part of campaign. Similarly, there is a automatic way where we can add the records into the campaign. We can create automation rule, and we can define the automation. Let's assume if someone has filled the live show form at Apexars on the Apexars website, then those records will be automatically added into the campaign. So this is how we can create campaigns and add members into the campaign. So next topic is recycle bin in Pardot. So it is always the required thing in marketing automation tool to recover the deleted records or deleted automation. So similar to the laptops or your desktop machine, we have recycle bin in Pardot, which is responsible to recover the deleted prospects or any other automation that we have, or even we can permanently delete the records if there is a requirement. Now let's jump onto the org and see how it works in action. Now we just created this record, test campaign record, and we are going to delete that record, and we will again recover that record from the recycle bin. So we can simply go to the prospects tab, and here if you want you can apply the filter created today, and we can simply search for test campaign record. Here we go. We can simply click on the delete button in order to delete that record, and now this record is successfully deleted. Now in order to recover it from the recycle bin, we have to go to the Pardot settings, and in the left side you can see recycle bin option, and this is all the automations or whatever we have in Pardot which we can recover with the help of recycle bins. So I will go to the prospects here because I just deleted the prospect and I want to recover that prospect. So here you can see test campaign record is available in my recycle bin. And if I click on this gear icon, there are two options. One is undelete and another is permanently delete. If I click on permanently delete, then this record will be removed from this recycle bin. If I click on undelete, then it will remove from this recycle bin and it will be again the live prospect into the Pardot. However, after clicking on the permanently delete, it will forever remove this record from the recycle bin and we cannot recover this record in future. So I will simply click on undelete as of for now and I will click on OK. So this record is now undeleted. Now I will go here and refresh the page, and I will search the same name. Here you can see test campaign and you can see this record is recovered back and I can see this into the prospects. So this is how we can use the recycle bin in order to undelete whatever automation or prospects we have in the system. So that was all about today's session. Thank you so much all for joining this session and hope the session was helpful. Thank you Apexar for organizing the Pardot series. Thank you everyone.